There is a silent struggle many face every day, a restless mind filled with racing thoughts, worries, and the heavy weight of anxiety. It can feel endless, like a storm inside that never settles. But what if the key to peace is not to fight the storm, but to see it differently? In this video, we explore how fear, anxiety, and overwhelm are not truths to be endured, but perceptions to be healed. You will discover how simple yet profound shifts in how you see your thoughts and feelings can unlock deep calm and freedom. This is not about escaping reality or ignoring challenges. It is about transforming the way you relate to your inner experience, moving from fear to love, from judgment to forgiveness, from separation to unity. If you are ready to find lasting peace amidst life's uncertainties, let's begin. The mind's illusions. Understanding anxiety's roots. Anxiety is often mistaken for a reality outside of us. The world is dangerous, the future uncertain, threats everywhere. Yet, anxiety is a product of the mind-us interpretation, a story the mind tells itself based on fear and past wounds. When the mind identifies fully with fearful thoughts, it creates a world that feels unsafe and overwhelming. This is an illusion, a veil that distorts the truth beneath. The truth is that you are not your anxious thoughts. You are the awareness in which these thoughts arise. Recognizing this difference is the first step toward freedom. Witnessing the mind, the power of awareness. To heal anxiety, begin by becoming a witness to your own thoughts. Instead of reacting to every worry or fearful thought, simply observe them as passing clouds. Label them. This is anxiety. This is fear. This is a judgment. This practice creates a sacred space between you and the story your mind is telling. In this space, healing begins. You can choose not to engage with the illusion, but to rest in the deeper awareness of peace beneath. The nature of fear, a mistaken perception. Fear is compelling because it seems necessary for survival, but fear itself is not reality. It is a misperception, a false judgment about the world and yourself. Understanding this is profound. Anxiety is not an enemy, but a signal that the mind has lost sight of truth. Fear invites you to turn inward and question your beliefs. When you do, you begin to see the possibility of another way, a way of peace and trust. Forgiveness, the pathway to healing. Forgiveness is the healing balm for the anxious mind. But true forgiveness is not about excusing harm or pretending pain does not exist. It is about releasing the mental barriers that keep you trapped in fear. Forgiveness dissolves judgment, the very judgment that creates the illusion of separation and conflict. By forgiving, you restore connection to yourself, to others, and to the peace that is your true nature. Choosing love over fear, the greatest power. Every moment offers a choice, to see through fear or to see through love. This choice is the foundation of transformation. Choosing love does not mean ignoring challenges, but meeting them with a heart that trusts in healing and unity. As you practice this choice, anxiety loses its hold. Love shines away the shadows of fear. Practical spiritual tools for anxiety relief. Here are some spiritual practices to gently guide your mind back to peace. Mindful breathing. Deep, slow breaths anchor you in the present moment. Silent witnessing. Observe thoughts without judgment. Affirmations of peace. Repeat simple phrases like, I am safe, peace fills my mind, or I release fear. Mental release. Imagine releasing fearful thoughts with each exhale. Daily forgiveness. Intentionally forgive yourself and others, freeing your mind from resentment. These practices, when done regularly, rewire the mind toward calm. Embracing uncertainty with trust. Anxiety often springs from resistance to uncertainty, but life is inherently uncertain. When you learn to embrace uncertainty as part of the flow, you reduce resistance and invite peace. Trust that beneath the unknown lies a benevolent order supporting your highest good. Recognizing your true identity. At the core of your being lies peace, an unchanging essence untouched by fear. You are not your anxious thoughts. You are the silent awareness in which all thoughts arise and pass away. Returning to this awareness reconnects you to your true self, a self defined not by fear but by love. The practice of forgiveness as a daily commitment. Forgiveness is not a one-time event. It is a daily practice that gently dissolves fear and anxiety. Each time you forgive, you release a layer of mental burden that obscures your peace. Forgiveness begins within. It asks you to look at the judgments and grievances you hold about yourself, others, or situations, and to consciously release them. This release is not forgetting or condoning. It is choosing to see differently, and that forgiveness is the pathway back to calm. You recognize that grievances feed anxiety. As you forgive, you reclaim the mind's natural state of clarity and love. Shifting perception from attack to peace, the mind often perceives the world through an attack-defense framework. This means it assumes threats, opposition, and conflict at every turn. Anxiety is born from this constant state of vigilance. But the truth is that this perception is a habit, a learned lens that can be changed. By choosing to see beyond attack and defense, you open the door to peace. This shift allows you to interpret challenges not as threats, but as opportunities for healing. It is a radical reorientation, seeing others and situations through eyes of compassion rather than fear. Recognizing the power of thought. Your thoughts hold creative power. Anxiety is sustained by thoughts of fear, doubt, and separation. But you are not powerless. You can choose to redirect your thoughts toward peace, trust, and unity. Begin by noticing repetitive anxious thoughts. Then gently replace them with thoughts that uplift and calm. This is not about suppressing negative thoughts, but acknowledging them and consciously choosing a higher perspective. Mindful presence, returning to now. Anxiety often pulls the mind into the future, worries about what might happen. The antidote is presence, the ability to bring your attention back to the here and now. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully aware of this moment without judgment. Use your breath, your senses, or simple grounding exercises to anchor yourself. In presence, the mind's stories lose their grip. Peace becomes accessible because the present moment is free from past regrets and future fears. Trusting higher guidance. When anxiety feels overwhelming, it can help to remember that you are supported by a higher wisdom beyond the mind. This guidance is always available, gently leading you back to peace. Surrendering control does not mean giving up. It means trusting that you are not alone. Invite this guidance into your moments of fear. You may sense a quiet knowing, a gentle reassurance, or an intuitive nudge toward calm. This trust softens anxiety's hold and opens your heart. The role of compassion. Compassion is a healing force that softens the harshness of anxiety. Extend compassion to yourself as you navigate difficult emotions. Recognize that anxiety is a universal human experience, not a personal failing. Compassion reduces self-judgment and creates space for healing. As you cultivate compassion internally, you also open to more compassionate relationships with others. Releasing the need for immediate results. Healing is a process that unfolds in its own time. Anxiety may not disappear overnight, and that's okay. Release the pressure for immediate change. Each small step toward awareness, forgiveness, and love counts. Celebrate progress, no matter how subtle. Patience with yourself is an essential part of the journey. Integrating peace into daily life. The goal is not to escape life's challenges, but to carry peace through them. Practice bringing your calm mind into everyday moments, conversations, work, and rest. Use the tools of awareness, forgiveness, and presence whenever anxiety arises. Over time, peace becomes your default state. You realize that your true nature is calm, centered, and whole. Deepening the practice of inner stillness. Inner stillness is the fertile ground from which peace naturally arises. To cultivate stillness, set aside quiet moments each day to simply be. No agenda, no trying to fix anything, just resting in awareness. As thoughts come and go, Return your attention gently to your breath or a soothing phrase. This practice trains the mind to release attachment to fearful stories. With regular practice, stillness becomes accessible even amid life's activity. The miracle of releasing judgment. Judgment divides and fractures the mind, fueling anxiety. Choosing to release judgment, both of self and others, opens a doorway to healing. This miracle begins with recognizing the innocence that lies beneath all appearances. When you see that all beings are simply expressions of the same light, judgment loses its meaning. Practice noticing judgments as they arise and consciously choose to let them go. This transforms your perception and invites peace. The power of affirmative prayer. Affirmative prayer is a powerful tool to align your mind with peace and healing. Unlike asking or pleading, affirmative prayer declares your truth as already whole. Examples include, I am surrounded by peace and calm. Love fills my mind and releases all fear. I am one with infinite peace and joy. Speak or write these affirmations daily to reprogram your subconscious toward serenity. Visualization for healing anxiety. Visualization deepens your connection to peace. Close your eyes and imagine a radiant light enveloping your body and mind. Feel this light dissolving tension, calming the nervous system. Picture your mind as a still lake, its surface smooth and reflective. Return to this image whenever anxiety stirs. Visualization enhances your mind's ability to embody calm. Surrendering ego stories. The ego thrives on separation and fear-based stories. Surrendering these stories is essential to healing anxiety. Practice noticing when your mind clings to identity based on worry or limitation. Then gently remind yourself, this is not who I truly am. Release attachment to the ego's narratives and invite a higher truth to guide you. Cultivating gratitude amidst challenge. Gratitude is a transformative practice that shifts focus from lack to abundance. Even in difficult moments, find small things to appreciate. A breath, a sound, a kind gesture. Gratitude softens the mind and heart, making space for peace. Incorporate gratitude into your daily routine to balance anxiety with joy. The invitation to let go completely true peace comes when you fully let go of resistance. This means surrendering not only control, but also the need to fix or understand everything. Letting go is an act of faith, trusting the process and your inner guidance. Practice this letting go in meditation and daily life, and when anxiety arises, feel the freedom that arises when you release the struggle. Returning to love, your ultimate refuge. Love is the ultimate refuge from anxiety. It is not a fleeting emotion, but the very essence of your being. Return to love in every moment by choosing thoughts that unite rather than divide. Love dissolves fear instantly. Thank you for dedicating time to this journey inward. Remember, peace is your birthright, always accessible, always waiting. Walk gently, forgive deeply, and love fully. Remember, you are never alone.